Welcome to Rap in Order.
So the news cycle these past 2 weeks, 21 Savage has been ruffling feathers left and right. 21 Savage has gone to say that Nas isn't relevant on Clubhouse, and the hip hop world wants to set this man on fire.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
You know what I think the shout out to June, my cousin June. I was just arguing with him about this earlier. But
June
I think
said that he's not relevant.
No, because June doesn't like 21. So he turns it into this whole other thing. But I think the triggering word here is irrelevant. But when we break down what 21 said and when people actually listen to the clip, I think he made a lot of solid points. I think what he was saying was, without using the word irrelevant, I think what he was saying was, Nas has his core fan base already. For example, Nas is playing MSG in February.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's going to be new fans there. Those fans that are going to be there are going to be established fans. If they're not from the 90s, they're from the early 2000s. Nas has a career that spans over 30 years. So I don't think at this point he's making any new fans. And if he is, it's far and in between. He's not getting any fans from Kings of Seas 3 that he didn't have when It Was Written came out.
But I don't think I think that that's not what falls under the line of irrelevance. I think when a person is irrelevant, like they can't get anybody to do anything.
So when we look at irrelevant, we're talking about the impact of music today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's new artists coming out that are
because
basically moving according to how Nas was moving?
I could easily say this. I could say that 21 Savage is irrelevant to my mother and father.
But that's not. But that's
he said
not
irrelevant. He didn't say irrelevant to the new generation. I'm just saying and he went on to explain himself, but like his verbiage was wrong. Mm-hmm. Like he said that Nas is irrelevant. Like basically like period. Like he has his, but then he said he has his core fan base. What I'm just saying is that words mean something. So when you say something like, "Yo, this guy's irrelevant," but he has his core fan base and he does X, Y, and Z, right? Mm-hmm. To me, when I think of irrelevant, I think that you don't matter to anyone.
So when I think of irrelevant in this stance and in this frame of thought, I think about how music is moving today and how he's impacting that today. Do you think Nas has an impact of how hip hop is moving today?
I do, because I think what Nas is doing is basically making it okay for people to age in hip hop.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll give you that. So like, but I think, mm-hmm. But who would you consider an OG of today?
Who would I consider an OG? I mean,
like what? Like the OGs of like, and I think we actually talked about this before.
So what do you mean?
So
all
like
right,
so not
Nas. So the OG. So you mean like who will be considered like old today? You want to know what's funny? The rappers who are considered old today are Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar.
Right. So I think those are the people that move the needle of today, because those are the OGs of today. Mm-hmm. So like in the frame of mind that 21 is speaking from, it's not discrediting Nas as an MC. We know Nas is great.
Right.
But from the frame of mind, the way that I take it is that Nas isn't gonna be welcoming. I don't think he's welcoming new fans from Kings of Seas 3. There's still a chance for artists like 21 or an artist like. And in the same breath, I don't think Drake is getting new fans. You won't hear a Drake fan now say, "Yo, I heard Her Loss. I'm a Drake fan now." Drake been out since 2008, so he's today's standard OG.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I think with Nas, who's here is already here. So I think that's what he means by irrelevant.
Yeah, but he didn't say that.
I mean,
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that like words mean things. That's just like if somebody comes out and says like, "Yo, all Southern rappers are mumble rappers," right? Mm-hmm. Like that's a thing that like Southern rappers hate, right? And I also have heard like multiple like 21 Savage interviews, and I think that he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder because most rappers from the South know that rappers from New York, the mecca of hip hop, right, don't get their proper respect. That just harkens back to the Source Awards when Ultra 3000 got up and said the South got something to say, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, like 21 Savage comes from a place of feeling like, yo, we running shit right now in Atlanta. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all New York niggas is irrelevant. It was deeper than that. And like, I might be on my Skip Bayless shit right now, assuming of what I think he was going into. But like, I think he was basically trying to say like, yo, we moved the needle now. Like, we like, we're the now, right? And like that old guard, that old shit, because like Nas is like the face of it, more so than anybody because of what Illmatic did. I think that is what he was like underlying saying, because it's like I've listened to him on Clubhouse before and talk about how like dudes from New York don't respect Southern rappers and this, that, and the third, right? So like when he said that, it was kind of like him like putting his chest out, but in the sense like he's wrong. Like I think that he better hope that like, you know what I'm saying, like 20 years from now, like think about it, 21 Savage is 30 years old and now his career spans over 28 years.
Yeah, and I'm taking out, when I think about shit like this, I'm not thinking about 21's career and compare. I'm just literally taking what he's saying. And they were having an open discussion about hip hop.
Yeah, they were.
So I don't think he's not comparing careers in any way. They're just talking. It just so happens that it comes from 21 and now he's under the microscope from other people as a rapper.
I also like don't understand why he felt the need to say that. They were like basically in the chat room they were all saying like, "Yo, Nas is still doing it after all of this time. Like this is dope. He working with Hit Boy, King Disease, album of the year." And then out of nowhere, 21 Savage just felt the need to say,
"Yeah, I honestly
listened to it. Like that was what the fuck was the point of that?"
I didn't hear the whole thing. I don't even have Clubhouse on my phone, so I heard the 8-minute audio.
I went on YouTube and heard it.
Yeah, I heard the 8-minute.
They
was
praising King Disease 3. That's all they was doing. And then here comes 21. Well, yeah, I know. Like, come on, bro. Okay. I'm sorry. Like I just got upset thinking about it. You wanna know what's funny? I wasn't upset about it until right now. And I was just thinking about it like there was no reason for him to say that. It was unwarranted. There was no reason for him to say that. And now he gotta explain himself and say, nah, I don't got a problem with not like it wasn't necessary for you to say that. Like it was kind of just like well, you know, he ain't irrelevant. I just dropped the album with Drake. Like, all right, my nigga, we get it.
And I think he likes he likes spots like Clubhouse too, because he feels like he can have open dialogue. I don't think this happens to him that often where he's recorded and shit goes out there.
He's on Clubhouse a lot.
All the time.
And he owns equity in Clubhouse. Mm-hmm. So like, it benefits him to be in those chat rooms and allow people to talk, right? Mm-hmm. To him. I don't see the point. There was no skin in the game for him to do that. This is the same thing to me as like, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a conversation. They're going to square it away. But this was just reminiscent to me, like when Nas put out Hip Hop Is Dead and then Jeezy was like speaking on it and then him and Jeezy spoke.
And Jeezy felt the way because Jeezy felt the way. Year.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, and it's just one of those things where I think that Nas was wrong for saying Hip Hop Is Dead. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like completely biased. I'm just saying like certain things just shouldn't be said, or you should explain more what you're saying, because people could just take a soundbite and just run with it. Now he's plastered everywhere as the face of that, and like, you know, 21 Savage is far from a mumble rapper, but now people out here saying that he's a mumble rapper, like he's riding Drake's coattails and this and that. So that's all I'm saying. Like I just think that on certain things you should just be mindful of what you say, because people will build their own narrative around it. All you had to do was just say, yeah, Nas is cool, and just keep it moving, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's also true.
No, I'm just saying, just Nas is just somebody that you just don't. I know a lot of Nas fans. Shout out to Ellis and Quincy. Mm-hmm. I know Nas fans, and they'll run down on you, bro.
Nah, yeah, Nas, real Nas fans are super, super about that shit.
Yeah, bro. Like Nas fans is different.
Yeah,
they'll learn you.
I just think irrelevant was the trigger word, and him breaking it down a little bit gave me more understanding, but unfortunately
too little too late, man.
People not going to really listen to the whole clip.
Watch how you talk about the God thing.
You already said irrelevant.
Yeah.
And he dropped an amazing album, so I get it.
Mm-hmm. These are their stories.
Dun dun.